Hi ladies, hi gents. I want to share a project with you today, and it's a vintage wooden spool that I had in my stash and I've altered it, and I'm just thrilled how it turned out. So I'm just going to go straight in and show you. Let the camera focus for a second. Okay, so this is my altered spool and okay, so it's an old spool. That is the original base, so I haven't done anything to the base at all. So what I did is I covered it in vintage note music paper, which you can just see there, and then I used this vintage net lace over the top of that. That's it, and I just love that look, absolutely love that. I've got thread. Just round the base I've added a tiny vintage lace from my stash, and I sort of pleated it as I went round the base of the spool, and then I've added some of these tiny pearls that Diana and Maggie both sent me some, so I don't know which, this particular strand, whether it was from Maggie or Diana, so thank you both. And I absolutely love those, and they just, the colour was just perfect for this. Then just down here on the side I made a tiny doily flower out of some scraps of little doily that I had, and then I've got like a leaf applique behind it. There. And then I just used some pearl stamen for the centre. Then on the top I used this vintage lace and put it all the way around the top, because I wanted it to hang down, and I wanted, you know, I have lots of little bits of beautiful vintage laces, and I really wanted to use some of them, and this was the perfect size project to use them on. And I think there's 3 layers of lace on there. So there's one, there's a second, and there's a third. I then placed a doily over the whole top of the spool, and then I just decorated it. So what I did is I had this tiny picture frame, and that is actually metal, and it was actually, it's got a little stand, so it stood up perfectly on there. So that's why I used that one, and I did rub a little bit of oh, what's it called, gilding wax, just over to bring out the, you know, the detail on the metal. And I put this gorgeous little vintage image in there. I then made a tiny lace flower with a pearl in the centre, a real fluffy one. Again, that's made out of a mixture of doilies, some organza and a tiny lace. I've got some pearl stamen popping out from behind the flower. I've got lots of appliques and more of those tiny beads just hanging down here, and then there's a leaf applique hanging down, and there's another one there, that side, and then you'll see again this side some more leaf applique, some more of the pearls hanging, and then another tiny sort of ruffled flower, sort of flower bud actually, sat on a doily, and I really like that look. It's real shabby and vintage looking. And then this is a brooch that I found at a car boot sale, so I just pinned that in front of the frame, and I just love the way it hangs down, and it's really old, and you know, some of the pearl patina's coming off, so it was just perfect vintage look to add next to the lace. And of course, you know me and dangles, I love the movement. And then I put a square doily behind the frame, and then what I did on the back is I actually made a flower using some very, very soft vintage doilies that I had. It's really, really soft. And then I used a vintage earring, and I thought, you know, that way when I have it on my shelf I can have it and it looks pretty all the way around. So it, you know, it doesn't have to be not pretty at the back as well, so I can turn it around and have it either way. And I just love how that turned out. I'm really happy with that. But well, I'm really thrilled how it turned out overall. It just feels really vintage to me, and I just love how it looks. So I am thrilled. But I will definitely be doing more of these because I really enjoyed it, and I love how they look altered. So I do have some vintage ones that are probably too big to alter, but you never know, I might. But I do love altering spools. So I really hope you like it, and I hope I explained it. It's taken me a little while to get back into videoing, so you know, just because I haven't done it for a couple of months, so I guess I feel nervous starting again. So I'm sorry if my explanations aren't very good, but just give me a little bit of time to get back into it properly. So yeah, I really hope you like it, and I will be back very soon with another project, hopefully. And I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.